Nice little smokehouse here. I love serpent meat. I don't know about you guys, but I sure do. So I have 3 iron cooking stations set up above hearths right here. You can't walk on top of hearths, so I made wooden planks going above it, just right above it, and it's enough to be able to walk through here and catch any meat that I can't catch off the cooking stations from here. Uh, they take serpent meat takes 61 seconds to cook, and this stuff is completely underrated. I promise you. This is like end game food that you can get at any stage in the game, as long as you're willing to go out and get on a boat and use the best stamina food that you have available to you at the time. And you can go to a Leviathan first and mine some chitin off the back of the Leviathan and get yourself a harpoon. Once you have a harpoon, you can drag the serpent to shore. Now, serpent meat, it will float. So you can kill the serpent anywhere you want. So you can essentially kill the serpent in the middle of the ocean and collect just the serpent meat if you prefer to. But the idea is to get the serpent back to shore because it drops serpent scales, which make a decorative shield. I'll show you one later. And it also will drop the serpent trophy, which is the serpent head. And the serpent head trophy is required to make heavy fishing bait. Heavy fishing bait is required to make, or heavy fishing bait is required to catch tuna. And from a fishing standpoint, I feel as if the level 5 tuna would be the biggest catch in this game, other than the serpent. So that's what got me started on my journey and realized that serpent meat was completely underrated. Now it takes 61 seconds to cook on these iron spits, and it will take 161 seconds, or I'm sorry, 121 seconds to turn into coal if you don't take it off that spit. So we need to get it off there as soon as you can, really. That's the idea. Now, you have to cook the serpent meat in order to cook serpent stew. And the serpent stew is definitely something that you should get your hands on. Serpent stew is pretty much equivalent. It is equivalent to end game food as the game stands right now. And what you need for serpent stew is just, it looks like I'm out right now, but oh, there it is. Mushrooms and honey. And where is the honey? There's a couple honey. 2 honey and 1 mushroom will make a serpent stew. They give you max health of 80, stamina of 26. It lasts 30 minutes and will give you 4 HP per tick. This is definitely an in-game food. It's equivalent to the meat platter and the honey glazed chicken. The only thing that beats it would be the Misthare Supreme at this time. Now, when Ashlands comes out, that's going to be a different story. That's probably not coming out too far away, so probably going to have to update and figure out how well the serpent meat stands up at that point. But I still believe it's going to be pretty good food, regardless. All right, so we're going to show you how to catch serpents and do it efficiently. So these are great conditions to find a serpent, but first you got to get that harpoon. So came out looking for a Leviathan, and I found 2 of them right next to each other. So all you got to do is get on these. These are floating like they're giant tortoises, and this is abyssal barnacle, and you just mine it and you get chitin. Now this guy's gonna aggro, and they don't get hostile with you, but they're gonna go underwater in a second if you keep mining this and you get chitin. And I'm getting ×3 on this. You won't get this much on a normal server or single player, but one of the admin decided to turn this ×3. Okay, now he's rocking solid, so we better get off of this. One of the admin turned our loot to ×3 after the server had been online for over a year. And I think at that point everybody was kind of fine with it. Kind of getting tired of grinding out massive piles of stone in order to build big. So that's why we have ×3 loot. And it helps. It doesn't really affect the gameplay that much. It just allows you to do things a little bit faster. I'm not quite there. So we don't need this much chitin, but figured since I'm out here, I'll go ahead and gather it anyway. Might as well take advantage of 2 turtles. Who knows? Somebody else on the server may need a harpoon anyway. There's not much you can do with the chitin. You can make the abyssal harpoon, and you can also make the abyssal razor. And I believe that's about it, at least at this point. Yeah, get a little closer. Waves are really rocking. Can't get much closer. I mean, you could turn the boat sideways, but there's really no point. Not going to make it that difficult. Alright, that's good enough. Let's get a little bit more of this chitin. Wish we could get the little creatures that were inside these barnacles. Gonna let us clean his back off a little bit. Let's go for a big pile here. Okay, clearly more than I can carry. Let's put the weight belt on, that will help. Okay, it's time to go. Don't stress, you got a little bit of time. Don't want to use your stamina, especially if your boat gets pushed away like that. It'll be fine. I have a decent swimming skill, plus the fishing hat helps with the swimming. Okay, so now we'll get back to base and make some harpoons. See you there. A helpful tip if you want to figure out where you're going without opening up the map so you can keep your eyes on the boat, you hit the little arrow keys to the left and right that are located next to the M, and that will move your map in and out so you can see your surroundings. So here we are at my crafting table. There's a serpent scale shield right there. I use them for decoration. At this point in the game, they're not much use to them for me, at least for now, until maybe they update. To make a abyssal harpoon, you need 30 chitin, 3 leather scrap, 8 fine wood. There we are. Alright, so I made an additional harpoon just to show you, but they make nice decoration. So I'm prepared to make an item stand, which is 1 bronze nail, 4 fine wood. I'm just going to go ahead and hang it at my boathouse. Somewhere right there. And we'll just put my old one up there on the wall. Make sure, let's go repair first. And let's go ahead and put that on the wall now. There we go. Okay, so now that we're ready to head out to Serpents, to get Serpents, it's sunrise. So we're going to have to wait a day. Well, not the full day, but anyhow, we got to wait till the sun sets on the other side. In the meantime, here's my boathouse. I've got these heads, trophy heads on each side set up for port and starboard. And on this side is the opposite because we're looking the other way. Of course, not that we really need it on this side. This is more just a decoration. You get so many of these heads, I didn't know what else to do with them. There's a serpent head trophy up there. That's the bad boy we're going to be going for today. We need to get that heavy fishing bait. And we're also really talking about serpents too. Here's all my trophy fish. Yes, I've caught them all. Above them I have circlets hanging, diverger circlets. Those are expensive, but it adds up. You can keep going, you'll have them. I got all these under before we changed over to 3 times loot, so it's not that hard to get the coin for it. All you got to do is explore some dungeons. Just keep playing the game. Can't exclude a few trophies. And there's some nice big pretty ones as well. Gotta love the fishing in Valheim. Right about now, with the sun going down, is the time to go and catch one of these beauties. And depending on the weather conditions when we get out there, will depend on where we go with it. If it's a storm serpent, we'll bring it back here. Any other serpent, we're going to take it to the trap and we're going to kill it. Here we are. This is my serpent trap. We'll get into the details of this a little later. Let's grab this boat and go if we can. It's a little bit damaged, so well, okay. So this is a serpent trap. It will, if a base is near a serpent spawn, it will cancel that spawn. And those serpent spawns are actually large circular areas, it seems. Whenever there's a base item up, such as this crafting table, you get this bubble. Well, you get a bubble where you can work, and that's considered a base zone. And if the base zone is near one of these serpent spawns, it will just kill it. You won't see a serpent. I tried for days to find one after I built this, and I had some base items in here with some carpets and a fireplace so we could get some rest before going, but that didn't seem to work well because there was no serpents out in the water. So here we go, out to get a serpent. I just brought along some mid-game stamina food. You can take along any stamina food you like. Obviously the end-game food is going to be better, but here we took turnip stew, carrot soup, and muck shake. So we've got 55, 45, and 50 for stamina, max stamina gains. So that should help us reel in a serpent. And I was low on health, so it was time to eat anyway. Alright, let's go catch a serpent. Well, no luck last night, so gonna have to go back out coming next night, unless there's a storm, of course. So while we wait for the sun to go down, I figured we'd have some fun. Serpents, they tend to not be aggressive when they're in enclosed areas. You can see they're just listening. They're not doing anything. I've got little fish hanging out here on the steps, sunbathing. Anyway, you can see that you can get right on them, and they don't seem to do much as long as they're in an enclosed area. And you can even control him a little bit. He's not really in a position I can control him yet because his nose is against the wall. But I can try. There we go. Pulled him back a little bit. So it's better if you can get him right on the nose. There we go. Nope, it's not doing it. Take off, you see? So you can control them a little bit. They're fun to ride. I've got some videos we'll tag at the end of this that I've actually ridden some serpents and gotten some decent little rides out of them. They're fun. It's a little laggy here, like I said, because it's a big base and it's multiplayer. It's not so laggy. It's just the turning, just the frame rate is slower. You can also, whoops, we can also take serpents through tunnels. See if we can get this guy to cooperate. We'll get him to go through this tunnel. Just doesn't want to give up. I'm gonna have to get some stamina. He's down below. I can pull this serpent through the tunnel with the harpoon attached. Right now he's fighting real hard. Right there. He's probably turned sideways in the tunnel. So if he does that, you just gotta go stop on it. Oh, he's going again. There we go. That's a good run. I'll stop here. Try to get him all the way over there. There we go. See, he's still attached. Just can't see him anymore. Once we get him over here, it's going to be easier. Down below, the tunnel goes from 2 blocks to 3 blocks right here. I do that so they can't go back. Once they get over here, they're kind of stuck. So now he's in this side. He still wants to... Well, I'm still in the 2 tunnel area. He's turned sideways, so he's really going to fight. I'll get him through here in just a second. There we go. That's how you can move a serpent around. So you can pull them through the floor with the harpoon, the abyssal harpoon. I'm not sure how many layers. I wouldn't test it too far, but 1 layer of foundations is good. And over here I ride serpents. I've been building this castle. I haven't really been riding them since I've put up these walls. But I will get to be riding them again soon. And we're waiting on daylight still. So I'll go ahead and ride them. Stamina food's good to ride in serpents too if you really want to try it. You're not going to gain anything out of it other than just a lot of fun. Whoops, missed him. We'll get on there. Okay. Sometimes you can, as long as you can stand next to them, you can get right on top of them. But if you can't, then you have to drop in from above. Do your best to stab them on the nose with your harpoon. Once you got that, if you turn left or right a little bit, you can see it's turning him a little. You want to aim him backwards in the direction you want to go. So I got to get on his left side in order to turn him the opposite direction. When I go to the other side, he starts to turn the other way. He really wants to go that way though. And if he doesn't want to go the way you want him to go, you can just drag him. Go the way you want to go anyway. Alright, now he's faced the way I want to go. Let's go. There we go. So that was pretty good. Alright, we ran out of stamina. That was a good run though. I could have possibly held it, stayed on. They like to stop you from getting to the ladders from time to time. It's not really that they're trying to get into your ladders, but they're listening and they hear you. And even though that they're not aggroing in this area, they want to move forward toward you. That's what they're doing. That's all they're doing. They're not aggroing at all. They will aggro in some of these corners, but since I put these walls up, I haven't noticed them. They were screaming before, but now there's walls up, so they don't seem to scream so much anymore. So anyhow, that's a lot of fun to do with serpents. If you want, you don't have to build like I am, but the channels really definitely give it a lane to try to speed down and control. So it's definitely a lot of fun. I've spent a lot of hours trying to do that. Oh, there we go. Speaking of aggro, oh, and I missed. But there you go. He's trying to bite me, and it's very hard for him to bite you. So there shouldn't be anything to worry about. I would recommend putting some armor on. I mean, you could use the stamina clothing. I haven't really noticed a difference. The drain, once it starts to drain stamina, I don't believe that the percentage that it actually helps you, or the percentage that it gives you actually is beneficial. It doesn't, I don't believe it helps at all. I mean, maybe it will. I'm not fond of the way it looks. This is my go-to outfit: fishing hat, padded armor, and a linen cape. Yes, a linen cape. I like the linen cape. Alright, so that's enough about riding serpents. We'll get back to it. Sun's about to go down, so I'll go get in position. See you there. Clearly, before any hunt, you should get the best rest buff you can get, even if you're already rested slightly. The longer you can stay out there, the longer your opportunity will last you. Some nights you can even catch 2 serpents if you're quick enough too. Alright, there's our rest buff. Let's get going. Getting out here a little early. See some deer fish playing with the troll fish over here. Actually, I take that back. I think I got time. I'm gonna go get the motor power. If you've beaten motor, this is really good power to have while you're on the water. It gives you tailwinds at all times while the power is activated. Alright, we'll get back to the ship. So I know of a couple serpent spawns here and here. These are the closest ones to me, so I'm just kind of patrol this area, see if I can come up with something. Getting a little too close to shore for a spawn point. There we go. There's a spawn. Let's go. So obviously we're going to need our harpoon. You can let them follow you for a minute. It's not going to hurt, especially if you're trying to save the stamina. But don't let them follow you too long, because they're eventually going to get away or get too far away. He's still coming. Doing more damage with my boat than he is. Just happens to be right behind. That makes it tricky. Got him. Okay. It's good timing too. Oh, no, we're at the wrong coast. It's alright, he's trying to get away, as you can see. Alright, we're going to use a stamina potion, or mead. They'll probably quit fighting us now. This isn't really a storm. This isn't the storm that the serpent would be good to take home. Could turn into one, but this isn't the spawn. This is a normal one. And if it isn't, oh well. It's going to be treated as one right now. So we're running low on stamina. You can drop your speed, turn the boat. Okay. Look what happens. I did that last time too. I did that. Got a little more control for a moment. And he's going to get away. But he's still interested in us, thankfully. Got him again. That's my serpent trap over there. A little sloppy coming into it. It'll be alright. Uh-oh. Okay, he's still after me. You can drag him to shore anywhere. I like to bring him here because I have some wolves set up. We'll get him. He's right here. He's after that boat now. I can do this a lot better than this, I promise. There we go. Let's drag him right up over here. You don't have to worry about him. I can release him, whatever. So we're on ×3. Remember, ×3 loot. We're not gonna. Hello, pup. Excited to see me there. We're on ×3 loot, so you can see there's a giant pile. You'll get 6 to 7 serpent meat on a regular server or on a single player without any changes to that. But we had set it to ×3 a while back, so we're getting ×3 loot. So no serpent head, unfortunately, but that's why you would drag it back here, is to get the serpent head and the serpent scales. Serpent scales will definitely sink to the bottom of the ocean if you kill that serpent anywhere. The serpent meat would float. You don't have to go anywhere to kill the serpent if you just want the meat. But we're really going after those trophy heads. And unfortunately, we didn't get one this time. So, anyway, that's how you do it, though. As far as serpent trap goes. What else have we not covered yet? So the wolves don't eat the serpent meat. And that's the bonuses to using the wolves to kill the serpent. They don't eat the serpent meat. So it's too big. And I don't believe they eat Lox meat either because it's too big. So you don't have to worry about that. Other than that, the serpent scales, all I do is I use them for decoration, which I have right over the portal to the serpent trap right here, and other locations around my house. Just they look okay, and it's something to do with them, you know. Anyway, I don't know if there's anything else to say about serpents, at least at this point. And since we didn't catch the trophy, I won't go over the heavy fishing bait, but it's not hard. I mean, it's just regular fishing bait and in the cauldron with the head, the serpent trophy. And you would get heavy fishing baits. But I'm not about to take the one off the wall in my boathouse to show y'all, and that's the only one I have right now. Oh, wait a minute. I do have one right here. One second. Heavy fishing bait requires regular fishing bait. You need 20 and the Serpent trophy, and can be cooked in the cauldron. And now we are ready to hunt some tuna. So hopefully we can catch that big game. If we can't, then it's okay. But we have 20 tuna to try it out. The tuna, the heavy fishing bait can be eaten by other fish, so you need to be careful when you're hunting for tuna. We'll use the way to keep our bait on the line in order to maximize how many fish we can catch. And tuna can be pretty much caught in every biome. Anyway, that's it for Serpents, guys. Hope you guys learned a lot from this, and I hope you enjoy your Serpent Stew. Have a good one.